2 weeks ago, we talked about ActiveMenus versus Slice. So that's on the YouTube channel. If anyone wants to go back and watch it, that was a really good one. Kind of the focus was on pizzerias and how you have, your selling positions against Slice.com. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share this week's deep dive, which is ActiveMenu versus owner.com. Just give me 1 second. Okay, you guys see my screen? All right, so today we're deep diving into ActiveMenu versus owner.com. Obviously, Owner has a good chunk of market share when it comes to online ordering software for restaurants across the country. Obviously, they're doing some global expansion too. The reason we're focusing today on owner.com is you're seeing them very often being used by sort of tech-savvy restaurants because Owner does have a higher price point. So we're going to go through the pricing model today. We're going to go through some of the client positioning and then opposition handling, and then we'll have some closers at the end and some takeaways that you guys can do as far as homework, and then also sales sheets. So let's dive into sort of like, what does the Owner customer look like? So owner.com serves about 1,500 restaurants across 49 states. I think that's 15,000. I might be wrong. I think that's wrong right here. Sorry, I'll fix that. And so they're charging about $500 a month plus extra fees. We'll get into those fees a little bit later. These restaurants, they understand the value of online ordering, right? So Owner is doing a really good job in educating them on all of the excess fees they're paying to third-party platforms like DoorDash and Uber Eats, and how to transition that client base into your own online ordering software. So we do this all the time with ActiveMenus as well. We have blog posts about this on our website. We really try to drive the message home of, hey, like, you could be saving thousands of dollars a month, tens of thousands of dollars a year by going direct, and different strategies to do that. But you can't go direct if you don't have a good tech stack, right? And so that's where the entire ActiveMenus platform comes in. Premium pricing. So these restaurants do have a tech budget. They're serious about technology. They really want efficiency. They want integrations. They want things to be handled. They want less personal resources to be used capturing orders, and more automation. So the nice thing that they see with owner.com is that there's no month-to-month contracts, but that's also an advantage to us, right? Because there's no switching costs. There's no barriers to switching platforms, really. It's pretty easy to get their menu into ActiveMenus and have them launched within 30 days. So that's definitely a selling point for transitioning these clients to our platform. They also have limited POS integrations. This was a big frustration. I've seen a lot of Reddit comments from restaurant owners and different reviews across review platforms, is that a meal solution to some of these restaurants who are not using, like, I think there's only like 4 major POS integrations that Owner does kind of out of the box. And then other than that, you have to do kind of some hacky, like, workaround methodologies. And then that creates issues, right? It becomes glitchy, it becomes fragmented. And so that's definitely something that can create a conversation between you and the restaurant owner. And then you have these excess fees. So there's a 5% customer fee on all orders, which adds, an inflated price tag to the end customer. And for customers that they're trying to move away from third-party delivery to their own platform, they might kind of see this as a negative, where it's like, why am I going to pay this extra fee where I can just go on, DoorDash and not pay that fee? Of course, we know some restaurants inflate their prices on third-party platforms to circumvent that sort of like price inflation. Okay, so the owner.com customer profile, average ticket size for some of these fast casual or premium upscale casual restaurants is about $30 to $50. So they're wanting to capture that order online, because missed opportunities going to third party is definitely, adds up as far as order volume every week, every month. So they're ready to invest in their own branded online ordering platform, whether that's just website only or mobile app. And what they see with Owner is that, hey, I'm going to pay this premium every month, is $500 plus fees, but at least I'm getting a website and an app, and the online ordering is handled for me. So for them, it's not necessarily, hey, where's the cheapest technology I can get, but where can I plug the holes in my online ordering software? And we've talked about this quite a bit in previous webinars, where we keep telling our resellers, like, hey, you might want to position yourself as a restaurant tech partner, because you are providing tech solutions to restaurant owners who are juggling, a lot of tasks simultaneously. They're wearing a lot of hats, and most of the time they're not tech savvy. I mean, they're tech aware, but they're not super savvy to the point where they're going to kind of go get fragmented systems and put it together themselves. They want someone they can trust to say, hey, this is your first in class platform. This is how it integrates to your POS, blah, blah, blah. And like, this is what I highly recommend. So, these clients that you want to transition off of owner.com, they understand that. They understand that it's not just about the bottom dollar, it's also about quality. So here's just some takeaways from conversational statements that you can use or make your own. So these are educated buyers who understand direct ordering. They just need better economics. And so that's something that you can tell the client too of, hey, I know you're really serious about your tech. You really understand the importance of online ordering and mobile friendly in this day and age, but let's get you better economics to get that same end result. And then this one over here says at $499 a month, they're already committed to technology. We just offer better value. And Brian, if anyone raises their hand, just let me know, because I have it on full screen, so I'm not checking the chat.
Okay, will do.
Yeah, and if Brexton or Keith or whoever, Charlene, whoever's on the call, chime in anytime. We don't have to finish it for Q&A. Okay, so the owner.com problem. So what are the issues that folks who are using Owner are seeing? And there's kind of like top 4. These were skimmed a lot from different review sites, Reddit posts, other customer feedback that I saw on like blog posts or like YouTube testimonials. So first and foremost, it's a premium price, right? It's $500 a month. It's one of the highest priced platforms that are out there. They are pretty aggressive in closing that sale because they know, whether you're doing 10 orders a week or 500 orders a week, they're going to get their $500 a month. So for a small business, like, that's not doing a ton of online orders yet, that $500 a month does seem like a large price tag. For the ones who are doing a decent amount of orders, what they're seeing is that they're kind of getting a cookie cutter approach of like, hey, I'm paying this premium price tag, but the system is not flexible. It's really doing like generic marketing for me. Nothing seems customizable. And so that seems like a negative for a lot of those savvier owners, I would say. And then this one, again, the platform feels geared towards speed and convenience, lacks personalization. So that was coming up quite a bit. And I think that's in the face of the premium price tag, right? So it's like, hey, I'm paying top dollar. I should be getting more customization. And then there's many features restaurants pay, but they're not using. So that's kind of something owner uses to close the deal. Number 2, the hidden 5% customer fee. So no matter what, every customer is paying a 5% on their order total. We'll get into the pricing comparison with ActiveMenus, but we do also have a 5% customer-facing fee. That's optional, and the restaurant chooses whether or not to turn on that option if they opt into our automated dispatch and customer service. And if they don't, then that 5% is not activated. So there's a difference there. So just kind of doing the math, when you have 200 orders a month at $35 average order volume, that's $350 a month in just customer friction. And now with customers being very sensitive to fees or tips or, add-ons, it is becoming increasingly more of an issue. Whereas if we were talking about this 5 years ago, the 5% may have been more negligible, but right now there's price sensitivity for sure. We saw through review analysis that customers are blaming the restaurant, and the restaurant owner obviously doesn't appreciate that because there's nothing really they can do about it. They try to educate like, hey, this is the platform. This is not me asking for an extra 5%. Because again, there's that sensitivity that post-COVID, like restaurants are just hiding fees in your subtotal, and it just seems there's not transparency there. Okay, number 3, the limited POS integration. Kind of touched upon this before. So owner has about 3 to 4 core integrations. And then other than that, it's pretty complex to kind of do these workarounds. I think you guys have seen that we have a really great onboarding team that treats every restaurant in a custom way of like, hey, let's look at what you currently have. Let's figure out how we can integrate the most efficient way, which tablets are going to work. So it's not to say like we onboard someone and say, hey, go figure out your integrations. We work sort of holistically with the client to make sure that everything is kind of integrated the way that they like. And our team has taken lots of effort and lots of development into making sure those integrations are mapped out so that we can accommodate the most clients as possible. And then number 4, which I'm missing a number here, is inconsistent support and onboarding. So kind of just mentioned this right now, but a segue again into the customer sort of white glove support we give during onboarding. Matt is on the call. He's the guru of that. So he, deals with so many restaurants and owners on a daily basis, and I think has seen like pretty much every issue that comes up during onboarding. So that's really great for you guys as a reseller that you have direct relationship with the onboarding team on our side, and that things will get taken care of as they come up, and that follow through is always there. You're not like getting some generic corporate customer support that's taking forever to fix a problem. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so what are your talking points to address some of these pain points? I
need real quick, sorry, I was trying to mute. Just to mention, Matt has been here with the company for, I think, longer than owner.com has been in existence. So, Matt definitely knows what he's doing. He knows his way around. He's really good with the restaurant owners as well. If he needs to get on the call with them and send a test order or something like that.
Yeah, Matt has grayed, huh? I don't know, Matt, if you have gray hair, but I know you were quite a young when you started, so you've seen it all. How many years has it been, Matt?
13 going on 14.
Nice. Yeah, he's the guru.
Yeah. And owner.com was founded in 2018, so Matt's been with our company twice as long as owner.com's been in existence.
There you go. Okay, talking points to address the pain points. So you're paying premium prices, but getting mid-tier execution. So that's a big one, right? Sometimes they're paying this $500 a month and not seeing any value. And I always tell folks in the software industry, like for instance, like I use Canva, right, for so much, and it's a great price point. I pay like $120 a year. If they increase their price to $200 a year, I probably wouldn't mind. I hope Canva's not listening to this, but because of the value that I get out of that software, I understand, like I get it. But if I'm paying $500 a month and not getting the value, then definitely I'm going to be on the hunt for switching. So that's something to look out for, because as you're having those conversations, when you mentioned, the premium pricing but not getting the value, I think you'll strike a chord, and then that'll lead to a deeper discussion. POS integration should be seamless at this price point, and it's not. That's a huge one, especially when they're just getting generic support documents, but not necessarily like someone helping them through the process of getting that integration done. You're paying owner.com $500 a month, but your customers are paying another $300 to $600 and 5% fees. The real cost isn't $500, it's $800 to $1,100. And that customer fee is quietly killing your repeat orders. Would you order as often if you got hit with 5% every time? So again, just highlighting those price inflation and that sensitivity to the customers if you feel like that is definitely a pain point that you can drill further on. So we have a side-by-side table. It's in a sales sheet format. I'm going to show you the link on how you can download this and make it customized to your own. But here's a screenshot of the pricing comparison. So first and foremost, the $500 a month. So we have two pricing models for resellers, right? You can do per order pricing, and that's a very different pricing model versus a flat rate monthly pricing model. If it would make sense to go with the monthly here, so that's why we have this as a variable, and you can fill in the X amount. When you get the Canva template, you can fill in whatever you want. So if you're purchasing the software from us for $150 a month wholesale, and let's say you're marking it up to $400 a month, then that's the number that would go in here. And then so you're offering it at $100 less per month just on the flat rate. And so that's what you would put in the comparison. On the customer fee, so there's a 5% mandatory fee that goes to owner. For us, it's 0 or optional. So if the restaurant is not opting into automated dispatch and support, then that 5% doesn't get activated. So if they are, then they can pass on that 5% to the customer. And Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, if the restaurant decided to, they can incur the 5% themselves, right? But usually they don't, is what I understand.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why 0 are optional here, and that's how you would explain that. So POS integration, that's obviously another big pain point we talked about. Marketing and loyalty as far as cookie cutter generic versus targeted and data driven. So a lot of the pain points that we just went through is now kind of logically laid out in a side-by-side comparison in this pricing sheet. So this is a good sales sheet that you guys can use when you go into a customer that you're trying to transition away from owner. And
I want to just highlight here that those of you who are agency owners, especially those of you that are on high level or something similar, the real value here is in bundling our online ordering monthly subscription with things that you offer. So I prefer things that can be automated. So like AI review responses, listing management, all these things that you can kind of bundle into one offer. You might charge more than $500 a month, but you might be delivering $5,000 a month in value, right?
Right.
So, just keep that in mind that you don't have to just use what's right here on the screen as benefits. You can bundle this into your complete offer.
Yeah, and you can take this template and exactly like add on more services here. So that your bundling looks like, a longer list. Okay, so just going through some objections and objection handling. So objection 1, we just switched to owner.com. Response, I understand switching is exhausting. How long have you been with them? And then you listen to obviously what the response is and be empathetic to it. And are you using all the features you're paying $500 for? Most restaurants realize they're paying for a lot they don't use. Since you're month to month, would 15 minutes to see a comparison hurt? If we can't beat owner.com on value, I'll tell you to stay with them. Okay, so really just to get that next meeting so you can show them a quick demo or you can show them like everything that they would save. You can even go in there with your calculations on the savings. That's really great when you have sort of the math done before you go into that communication. So that's really the objection we're handling here, is that there's low barriers to switching when you're switching from an owner customer. And Brian, I mean, you see a lot of owner switches, right? Anything you want to add to that here? Yeah, as far as them feeling like there really isn't a barrier, right? It's to switch over their menu.
No, there's not. And yeah, I mean, spot on. Most of them come to us and say, hey, I didn't feel like I was getting what I was paying for with the owner, so I'm looking for another solution. And then we show them how we have just as much, if not more, than what owner offers for, a comparable or lower price. And they tend to really respond well to that.
Great. Okay, objection 2, the price is fine, we're profitable. That's great, but here's the thing. Between your $4.99 and the $3.50 plus your customers pay in fees, you're at $8.50 a month total cost. We're half of that. At your margin, saving $600 a month is like getting 12 to 15 extra orders every month for free. Why leave that money on the table? So that's a really good point, because sometimes, like, again, these restaurant owners are really busy, like they understand like big picture, like they're not getting into the minutia like every day, but when you break it down of like how much money they're actually leaving on the table, they'll probably realize like, hey, you know, maybe this is worth 15 minutes of my time just to understand, you know, where I can have those cost savings. And if I'm going to get more features as it is and the switching barrier is low, like why not? So really it's your job to lay out those itemized costs to them, because they are hidden for the most part and they're not understanding how that is affecting their repeat business. Objection 3, switching sounds complicated. Response: how was your owner.com onboarding? Listen to them. Right, that was what I hear. We do white glove onboarding with a dedicated specialist. We handle menu setup, branding, POS integration, staff training, everything. We don't go live until you're comfortable. Most restaurants are up in 2 to 3 weeks with zero stress on your end. So that's key, right? Just to show them that, hey, you're not going to have downtime. It's not like your website's going to go down and then for 6 months we're working on this thing. It's going to be worked on in parallel. We're going to get it up as soon as possible. We do this day in and day out. We know how to get menus up. And as soon as it's up, you know, like your customers will see a seamless flow from you click the online order button on the website and it goes to a different system. But from the customer perspective, it's going to be the same menu and it's going to be a seamless transition. Objection 4, we're too busy to handle more online orders. Oops, phones are ringing off the hook. So here's a great response. Perfect. That's exactly why our AI voice ordering is a game changer. Right now, your staff is either taking calls, ignoring tables, or customers are hanging up. Our AI answers 24/7, takes complete orders with modifications, and sends them straight to your POS. Owner.com doesn't have this. They have beta AI email features. We capture the 10 to 20 phone orders you're missing weekly. At $35 average, that's $700 to $1,400 a month in found revenue. The system pays for itself just in captured phone orders. So just to go back to this pricing sheet, the AI voice ordering, like we do have that here to highlight that, you know, owner does not have that, and yet when we have it, it's free and included.
I always like to point out here when we talk about voice AI is that we had a restaurant that switched over to us. In that particular restaurant, they were spending $5,000 a month for an outside call center to take their calls, you know, some foreign country. And they switched over to us and were able to save, you know, a good bit of that money. So it just goes to show you that a lot of restaurants see the value in it. They just have to be convinced that, you know, the voice AI is the way to go. Also, just a reminder on the voice AI, we do have our own internal call center based out of Tampa, Florida, which if the voice AI ever fails, and every voice AI has a certain fail rate. It's just like you want that fail rate to be as low as possible. But with us, if that call fails, the call gets forwarded to our customer service center, where a human will then take that call and take that order and save that order. And you don't get that with most voice AI companies out there today. They don't have the human backup. But because we've had that call center that's been live for, you know, maybe 10 years or so now, you know, we have well-trained humans who are going to answer the phone. You know, thank you for calling Bob's Burgers online ordering. How can I help you? And they're going to take that order right there over the phone. Huge value.
100%. Yeah, $5,000 a month. That's crazy, especially for offshore. It's a ton.
Yeah, they did have multiple locations. So.
Yeah, I was going to say it must have been, because that's a ton of orders.
Yeah.
Okay, so we always like to leave off with something actionable as a homework of the week. So here, you know, we're kind of encouraging you all to go educate and research owner.com features, pricing, and pros and cons, and just kind of double click further on some of the pain points that we raised up in this webinar. Identify and research target restaurants using owner.com. So you'll see at the bottom of the page, like powered by owner.com, and then that can go on your target list, and then plan your outreach once you have a final target list. So this is the editable sales sheet. And by the way, If you guys haven't been on the reseller portal, this is what it looks like. I'm in the reseller materials section right here, and you'll see over, where is it, AM versus owner monthly pricing model. Don't click this picture because this is just a thumbnail, but if you click open, it's going to take you to the editable Canva template, and then you can just edit this template and add whatever your fee is here, add your fee here, include your information, your logo, and then print this out as a sales sheet, or copy and paste over into your own branded stuff, however you like. You get full control. So that's what we had prepared for today for the owner deep dive. So I just want to open it up to Q&A and kind of dive deeper on any of the items we raised up in the presentation or anything else that you guys have seen in your day-to-day that we can address.
One final thought on all that for me is whether it's versus owner.com or versus Slice or versus whoever, one of the biggest values that the restaurant owner is going to get that they're not going to get with any of those companies is you, right? Like, don't discount your own value in the relationship and them being able to have someone they can reach out to local who is going to be able to help them out. It's huge.
For sure. Oh, I also wanted to share that the past webinars are on our ActiveMenus YouTube. So you can go through these in order. So we had setting up your restaurant as a technology, restaurant tech partner, market research and lead generation tactics, office hour discussions. So you can learn from other resellers during the Q&A. We talked about our automated loyalty rewards program. Again, another office hours, so that's just open discussion. And then pizzeria focused, ActiveMenus versus Slice. And then, of course, this one will go up on there probably by end of day or tomorrow. Any questions, guys? Insights?
Doesn't have to be about this. It can be about any questions about anything.
I'm good to go. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming.
All right, guys. Okay, we can keep communication going on Slack, and then we'll ping you guys when this video is up. Just make sure to subscribe to the channel. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Ani. Bye.
Bye.